the big story of the week. Is it a risk or a masterstroke for Rangers? You touched on there that there's been a bit of a kind of, is it fair to say, a backlash from a lot of fans?
I must admit, Michael, I've been taken aback by just how fierce it is. I understand he's not the biggest name, not the sexiest name. Obviously, the 49ers, coming in, taking over the club. I think Rangers fans maybe were hoping for a bigger name, sexier name, but I don't. Of the people mentioned, the candidates that were in there, it quickly became clear, who were the guys that were on the shortlist. I'm not sure that the alternatives were so much better than Russell Martin, which is why I can't understand why it's been so fierce, the backlash. I must admit,
I don't think the candidates. I don't think any of them were particularly great. I mean, the Ancelotti thing might have got folk excited because of the name. I think that'd be a major gamble. I think I want to watch by not going for it.
That's what I was going to say.
And he was playing games the whole way through as well.
Exactly. But suddenly he became, I think because Rangers fans were a lot of the Rangers fans were so against Russell Martin, it was like, we need to get Ancelotti, forgetting that when his name first,
he would have been a risk.
He would have been a risk.
Yeah.
And many fans were saying that at the time as well.
Yeah.
So, here's like, Ancelotti had never managed. Russell Martin, much more experienced. He's managed in the Premier League, albeit it was a disaster last season. But, MK Don, Swansea, he took Southampton up. Notoriously difficult to get out of the Championship. He has achieved things.
He played the money and finished fourth.
He still got them up.
Had a good run.
There's plenty of managers that have been in the Championship, English Championship with money and not gone up.
I've been saying for weeks, I think he'd be a good fit for Rangers. I think the way he plays, I think he's a kind of very much a disciple of your kind of Peps, Klopps.
Yeah.
And Postecoglou as well. He's a big disciple of his way of thinking, which I think might work in Scotland, might be tricky in Europe. The big questions are, hasn't managed in Europe, hasn't won silverware as a manager. I think his win ratio was about 40%.
Yes.
In these three clubs. I know he's been at the club before. He won't know what's hit him when things go wrong, which at some point it will. There'll be a bad week here and there. It's going to be interesting to see how he copes under pressure. I thought he looked a wee bit strained at times at Southampton last season. He ain't seen nothing yet. But I do think his style of football, if he can get his views across and get play, the key thing is signings. He needs signings to help him and get the players that can play his certain way. I think it might work in Scotland. I think it might work. And fans need to give him a chance. But I can understand why they're kind of a little bit reticent